comandar por
16.830
duas
টাকা।
escalações. O Brasil com 5
জানুয়ারি,
alterações em
ফেব্রুয়ারি,
relação ao
মার্চ,
time que
এপ্রিল,
perdeu
মে,
para a
জুন,
Argentina
জুলাই
no
থেকে
primeiro
জানুয়ারি থেকে
amistoso
ডিসেম্বর
dessa última
পর্যন্ত
data
এই
FIFA.
বছরে
E a Coreia do
800
Sul
করে।
com 4 mudanças
Total
em
কিন্তু 800
relação
করে
ao
ধরছে।
time que empatou com o Líbano.
ইয়া
Son,
পর্যন্ত
a grande atração.
No,
Camisa
18,
18,
18,
capitão da equipe
900
na sua
ইয়া
esquerda.
হলো তো সেটা
Ele traz a delegação
Era
do Brasil.
18,
Marquinhos hoje é o
Isso
nosso
tem.
capitão, traz a flâmula, traz o time do Brasil, que pisa
Mama
pela
ko to
primeira vez ao
bhai
campo
salam
de jogo
bolna na amra
devidamente
labuti achi
organizado
naki
para a bola começar a rolar.
বুঝছিস
পরের বছর
O café da manhã está na conta do Sport TV. Que seja um grande jogo. Que a gente consiga se
3000 টাকা আবার ডিউ করা মানে ইয়া কমা কমানো
conseguido nos últimos jogos
কারণ
da seleção
19000 হয়
brasileira.
আবার 3000
Futebol valente pra frente ainda
সেটাই
que
হবে।
amistoso,
আবার
futebol
500
খুব
envolvente,
ভালোভাবে
que coloca os
দেখতে হবে, একজন
adversários na
অভিজ্ঞ লোক
roda naquele
দেখাতে হবে।
dominatório.
এবার আবার হলো 500 টাকার আবার কোথাও জরিমানা মামা কাছে চাই যে মামা 580 না এটা হলো এটা জরিমানা এরা তো ইয়া না
খালি বছর ওটা কোনো ব্যাপার হলো
সেটাই 580 তো এটা মনে করতো
580 1000 মাসে যদি সে 50 টাকা করে জরিমানা ধরে তাও কাজ লাগবে বছরে 600 যাবে
Estamos encerrando a temporada
তুই আর খবর নেব কালকে
2019 para a seleção brasileira.
রাফা প্লাজা আছে না এই হলো 27 নাম্বার পার হলো
ধানমন্ডি জায়গা সিনেমা
এই আগরাতে এবার ওই রাস্তাতে যাচ্ছি ইএনটি আছে না একটা ইএনটি 27 নাম্বার আছে না
আরে ওটা কি দিদাসেরা
হ্যাঁ
দিদাসেরা উঠে যা খোঁজ নিবেন
শোন মোট তো মাথায় ঘুরে গেছে মুই তো আসে ফেরে তুই ঘুমাচ্ছিস ভাবে শালা কোন বড় করবে গিয়ে এতগুলো টাকা আবার কেটে দিবি গুগলত দেখ
Executado o hino sul-coreano. A Coreia do Sul vive uma boa fase. Em 21 jogos, só uma derrota na final da Copa da Ásia para o Catar. Bom trabalho do português Paulo Bento. Hino brasileiro.
এই যে সংসদ ভবনের দিকে রোডটা গেল এটি আচ্ছা
আসাদ গেটের গানি তো ওটা না
আচ্ছা না না ওটা না এই দেখ সংসদ ভবনের দিকে রাস্তাটা এটা গেছে এটা আরো টারো আছে পার হয়ে গেল 27 নম্বরের দিকে রাস্তা গেল আরো পার হলো পার হয়ে এই দিকে হলো ইএনটি আছে ড্যাফোডিল ঢাকা কি না এই জায়গাটা তিহারি ঘর 32-এর আগে এই দেখ এটা হলো 32 এই ধানমন্ডি 32-এর আগে এটি হলো রাফা প্লাজাটা লাগা আছে রাফা প্লাজা এটা পার হয় 32-এর আগে যে ওভারব্রিজটা এটা হলো তেহারি ঘর এটা হলো ঢুকলো না বাম পাশে ওটি তেহারি ঘর বলেই সবাই আর এটা ওভারব্রিজ আছে ওটাই মোড়টা ঘুরে এই মোড়ে আসে মোটরসাইকেল নিয়ে যদি বা বাসে চলে যায় ঘুরে আসে ইটির নামে আর না পিছে যাওয়া যাবে তেহারি ঘরের কাছে যাওয়া এটা তেহারি ঘর উঠি করলে যে কেউছেন বুঝেছেন আর ও জায়গার তো মানুষের আছে
এই ব্রাজিলের কোচ এখনো আছে
32 সাইজে পরে 32 এটার পরে মাথা থাকলো না ওটা 33 অফিস করলে সবাই চায় বই তিহারি ঘরের কথা শুনে গেছে রাফা ফেলা যায় এসে জায়গার নাম কি করছে
ব্রাজিল মেন নেমে নাই
Executado o hino brasileiro. Uma paixão que transcende as mais diferentes gerações. Para o pouco público em Abu Dhabi, mas para milhões de brasileiros apaixonados por esta camisa, como a gente viu no último domingo, quando a seleção sub-17 ficou com o tetracampeonato mundial. Existe bola, existe paixão, existe futebol. É o que a gente cobra de Tite comandados na seleção principal, que tem jogado pedrinha, essa é a verdade. Mais algumas mudanças, o time do Brasil está confirmado. Esse é o quarteto da arbitragem dos Emirados Árabes, gente importante, gente do quadro da FIFA. Boa sorte ao árbitro Amar Al-Janeib, que ele não atrapalha o amistoso. Está na tela para você as duas escalações. Alisson no gol, Danilo na direita, Renan Lodge, a grande novidade na esquerda. Éder Militão deslocado da direita para a esquerda, segue no time titular. Hoje o Marquinhos entra. Fabinho também é titular. Arthur no meio campo com Lucas Paquetá tendo mais uma chance para pensar o jogo. Gabriel Jesus de um lado, Felipe Coutinho do outro. Richarlison aparece também no time do Brasil, que tem todos esses caras à disposição no banco de reservas. Reparem que o Thiago Silva vai para o banco, o Casemiro vai para o banco, o Roberto Firmino vai para o banco. Jogadores que estiveram contra a Argentina na equipe titular. Do outro lado, a Coreia do Sul, com 4 mudanças em relação ao último amistoso em que empatou com o Líbano 0-0. E eu já me desculpo com os sul-coreanos presentes no Brasil. Hyun-Wood é o goleiro, Moon-Hwan, lateral direito, Jin Soo-Kim, a pronúncia não é das melhores, mas ele joga na esquerda. Min Tae-Kim é o zagueiro central, com Yang Won-Kim no miolo da zaga também. Os volantes são Sejong e Woo Yong-jung. No meio campo, armando o time, o Jae Sung-lee. O Hee-chan também arma o time lá no ataque, o Ijo Hwang, com Son, a grande estrela, camisa 7 na Coreia do Sul, com todos esses caras à disposição do português Paulo Bento. A Coreia do Sul também vem de reformulação, não se classificou para o mata-mata na Copa do Mundo, de lá para cá trocou o treinador, o Paulo Bento assumiu, o time foi para a final da Copa da Ásia, vem de uma série invicta, vive um bom momento na circunstância local da Coreia do Sul. Quem não vive é Tite e companhia. Apita o árbitro, bola rolando com a saída do Brasil. Amistoso internacional começa em ponto 10h30 da manhã. Nesta terça-feira, horário de Brasília. O Brasil encerra o calendário de 2019 e você é o nosso convidado. Joga a bola, Brasil. Tá todo mundo de olho na bola do Brasil. Militão sai jogando com Marquinhos. Aqui embaixo, Danilo tá pedindo na beira do campo. Son fecha para marcar. Brasil sai jogando atrás. Marquinhos tem jogado como volante no PSG, mas diz que na seleção é zagueiro. Bola enfiada, desce Renan Lodge. Aí tem apoio, ele tenta o toque de primeira. Acelerou demais o Sejong, tira dele. Brasil já rouba com o Arthur. Será que o Brasil consegue se impor? Será que o Brasil consegue envolver a Coreia? É o que a gente passa a contar para você a partir de agora. Tá só começando Brasil e Coreia do Sul. Bola do Danilo enfiada com muita força, era pro Richarlison. Agradece o goleiro Hyun-Wood. Danilo mais uma vez é titular na lateral direita. Bola cavada pro Jin Sung-Kim. Sai jogando pelo meio. Woo Yong. Son toca de primeira, recomeça. Sejong sai jogando com Min Jae-Kim. Bola de primeira até a direita. Moon Hwan passa metade do campo, desce para o ataque, toca curtinho, tá na beirada do campo. O Brasil se fecha para marcar, com a ajuda inclusive do Felipe Coutinho. Jae Sung-lee aperta o Brasil com Lodge. Son, o capitão da equipe, toca na ponta para receber de volta. Ele é bom jogador, tá livre na linha de fundo. Levantou a cabeça, o atacante do Tottenham vai cruzar, segunda trave, bola desviada. Danilo queria a falta, vamos pro jogo. Vantagem do Brasil. Gabriel Jesus acelera para o contra-ataque. Richarlison atrasou a passada, se sentiu impedido, não recebe. Gabriel Jesus segue com ele, Woo Yong-jung, para já retomar para a Coreia do Sul e recomeçar no campo de defesa. O primeiro ataque do jogo foi da Coreia do Sul, numa escapada do Son. O Son tem 40% de participação entre gols e passes para gol no Tottenham. Ele encostou o Lucas, que não estava mal no banco de reservas dos Spurs. Fabinho toca pro Danilo. Paquetá, mais uma chance pro camisa 10, balança o corpo, solta na ponta, a jogada é boa. Desce o Lodge, cruzamento a meia altura, abre o compasso Min Jae-Kim. Posse de bola para o Brasil no ataque, que chega pela primeira vez. Essa é a tabela, reparem que aqui no miolo o Marquinhos dava condição. Na central do apito com a gente hoje, Salvo Espínola Fagundes Filho, aquele que tantas vezes defendeu o distintivo da FIFA e que hoje está no nosso comentário. De olho na arbitragem, Arthur, escanteio curtinho, levantou na primeira trave e facilitou o trabalho do Min Jae-Kim. A bola fica viva na entrada da grande área, o Brasil fica com a sobra. Renan Lodge. Aí o Felipe Coutinho apareceu para jogar, deu a trivela, Richarlison subiu a bandeira, impedimento marcado. A jogada do Felipe Coutinho parecia boa. O Richarlison estava à frente da linha de zagueiros, impedido, olha só. muito impedido, nenhuma dúvida. O Richarlison vive jejum desde que o time foi campeão. De lá para cá, quando ele marcou, inclusive na decisão da Copa América, ele não fez mais, não marcou com a camisa da seleção. Hoje ganha a titularidade. O Brasil aperta a saída de bola. Youngwood. Vai dar pro Brasil, valeu a pressão. Richarlison dominou, fez o giro. Paquetá caiu na esquerda, enfiou, tentou a tabela com Jesus, afasta a defesa. Valeu a marcação alta do Brasil, tentando estrangular a Coreia do Sul no campo de defesa. Vem os sul-coreanos, toque de calcanhar não é bom, passa pelo Jin Sung Kim. É arremesso para o Brasil. Paquetá não vive um bom momento no Milan. O antigo técnico do Milan, o Marco Giampaolo, dizia que o Paquetá tem...
জুন 17 ওদিক না জুন 17 এদিক
জুন 17 থেকে এই পর্যন্ত
5 মাস ওদিক 7 মাস এদিকে 7 12 7 আর 12 19 আর এইদিকে হচ্ছে এটা কি মাস যাচ্ছে নভেম্বর 19 আর 11 30 মাস নভেম্বর পর্যন্ত তাহলে কত বছর নভেম্বর পর্যন্ত 30 মাস হবে 2 বছর 6 মাস নভেম্বর পর্যন্ত 30 মাস
তাহলে জরিমানা আরো বেশি যদি এমনি করে হয় 8-10,000 হয়
line. The 22-year-old from Aston Villa, who brings back a few memories. Adriano, a different look, more powerful inside, and then the diminutive, almost Romario-like Rodrigo, who has lit it up for Real Madrid, both of them making their debuts against Argentina.
If Wesley reminds or can have that trajectory, well, not toward the end, but if he plays a little like Adriano did, or Emperador, the Emperor, man, they're going to get a fantastic player. But when Adriano was on his game and his mind was right, he was one of the most devastating number 9s on the planet during his time.
Out wide from Militao. Again, a new look on that back. Marquinhos does return, but Eder Militao alongside as Thiago Silva getting a break. Kim Jong-wan stepping in, deflects it away. Lee, Song. Flying in is Zhu Sejong, but couldn't win the ball back. Out for the throw-in.
It's the Korea Republic. They've come out 4-2-3-1. Zhu Sejong and Jung-Woo Young, and that double pivot with Lee Jae-sung in behind Wang Yu-jo, and then Son on the left, Wang Hu-chan on the right. Of course, that's a formation, that's a tactic that can always evolve and morph into a 4-3-3 as well. So we'll see how Brazil pick it apart.
Trying to sneak it in for Paquetá, well defended, and quick off his line is Cho. There's, well, at least not a mismatch, maybe even a little height advantage for South Korea. Cho's checking in at 6'2" in goal, center backs 6'3" and 6'1". Long ball forward to the 6'1" Hwang, but hard to use that height when you're down on the ground.
It's an aggressive Korea, and they want to play it quick too. The goalkeeper Cho gets that ball, plays it out quickly, and they try to boot it apart for Hwang as fast as possible. So Korea want to play not only with that skill and possession, but also with pace and directness as well.
Fabinho. Out wide. Kenan Lodi for Coutinho. Fast feet wide for Lodi, inside for Paquetá! He fills the gap, he fills the net. Beautiful build-up and a sparkling finish. Brazil up by 1.
Give credit to Felipe Coutinho, as they say, for his dribbling and his ability to beat one defender and then play that wide to Kenan Lodi. Look what he does here, beating Zhu. And then playing out right to Henan Lodi, takes a deflection and thought at first he may take a deflection, but it's good interplay. But look at Coutinho, he beats Zhu. That's the key right there. I thought it might have taken a deflection. Whatever the case, the service is excellent, and Paquetá gets inside of the defender and scores. But it started with Coutinho winning the one-on-one to create that space against Zhu, and then out wide to Henan Lodi, and then Lodi, the excellent service to Paquetá, beats his defender to the mark, and it's a goal.
You saw the wide angle. Kim Jin-soo, the left back, had two to mark, and that little hesitation. Didn't collapse inside of the more dangerous threat and pays the price. And mention the fact that Lucas Paquetá, with flashes here and there, for the most part is disappointed for Brazil, but that's his second goal, and he has been off to a quick start today.
And obviously, even though it's a friendly, when you wear that number 10 on your back for Brazil, a lot of eyes will be watching your performance. So Lucas Paquetá, even though the weight of the shirt in terms of the fabric is the same as all the other players on the pitch, but because of that number, the weight is heavier, so he has to perform, and he has to perform very well.
A guy who used to wear it with aplomb being recognized today, the legendary Pelé. 50 years ago today, he scored his 1,000th goal off a penalty against Vasco da Gama. The Vasco fans gave him a standing ovation. That was goal number 1,000 and counting. Well, it's goal number 2 for Brazil for Paquetá. Hopefully he can go on and build from there. Blocked away as Kim can't clear.
Oh, hey, Pelé Edson Arantes do Nascimento. I'm sorry to all the Maradona fans, or Messi fans, or Ronaldo fans, or Cruyff fans, or Beckenbauer fans, but Pelé is the greatest footballer of all time.
I think they all have arguments, but yeah, Pelé was the one, I think, who lifted the bar that they all try to achieve.
Absolutely.
Coming back is Jung. Wide Zhu. Kim. Up to Kim Moon-Hwan. Trying to find Son down the line. And a beautiful curling ball. The Spurs man fronted by Eder Militao and commits the foul, trying to get it back.
Good physical defending there by Eder Militao. Heung-min Son, Tottenham fans and Premier League fans know this. You get him one-on-one in space, and he has the skill, the footwork to beat any defender one-on-one. So you have to get on top of him quickly, not allow him to get that space for him to create and run at the defenses, and then obviously lead the goal-scoring chances. So Eder Militao getting on top of him quickly does well to get his body in between the ball and Son, and winning the ball back for Brazil. Son Heung-min is a fantastic footballer, and you cannot allow him to get to space to operate, and Militao shut it down very quickly.
Blasted by Militao. Not quite sure that's what he meant. Playing over on that left side, we've used to see him more on the right. Going back to his days in Portugal. Used to seeing him on the bench at Real Madrid, but he has stepped in of late and starting to get his feet underneath him for club and country. 8th appearance for Brazil today.
Well, you know, with Zidane, you really have to earn your place in the starting 11.
Testing that right side again. Help to the inside. Son dribbles, trying to sweep it across as he's come to this near side. He flipped with Juan, but then Son can't get inside. Tried to go inside out, Paulo Bento, but Brazil standing strong and a smart play by Danilo.
How about Gabi Jesus tracking back to help out defensively? One-on-one to deny Son a chance to threaten Alisson in goal. There's the goal again. Coutinho beating Zhu. That was the key. Out wide to Henan Lodi. And then also the runner, Richarlison, occupying about 2 or 3 defenders, and that allowed that space to open up for Paquetá to come in and get inside the defender and win the header.
Couldn't quite tell. I think it was Danilo who was all the way on this near side that was in the back of the head of Kim Jin-soo, and there was, as you said, the run Richarlison, the presence of Danilo, that was the only opening that Paquetá needed.
Yep.
And credit to him. Showed his muscle, showed his guile, showed his determination, and celebrates with the goal.
And you wonder if maybe Shaw in goal for Korea could have been a little more aggressive to come out and meet the ball. But that does show bravery that you dive for a header like that in that space with the goalkeeper threatening to come out. It could be a very nasty collision, and Paquetá sacrificing or saying, all right, I might get a concussion here, but I'm going to get the goal.
Chance from distance. Down goes Allison to deny. Of course, these two quite familiar with each other. It's on denied by the Liverpool keeper.
And give Son that kind of space. Time and time again, he scored from those distances for Tottenham.
Then you think back, there's so much talent. Difficult ball to handle, but Cho makes it look easy. Harry Kane, the golden boy for Tottenham, but Son has stepped up and in some ways proven to be just as, if not more, valuable. Sloppy pass from Kim Kyung-won. Can't gift it right back to Brazil, but that's what South Korea is doing. It's heading towards 6 o'clock local time in the evening. And it is still 80 degrees, so it could be worse.
Yeah.
But it is a rather warm night. Too far for Lodi.
In those desert environments, you got to play these games at night.
And normally you think desert would be dry, but humidity's up there near 70% as well. Just a little bit of a breeze. That was a difficult one. If it would have skipped down maybe an inch or two in front, but well played. Allison touched inside, and Paquetá. Interesting how they're playing him. They've dropped Archer a little deeper with Fabinho, and Paquetá pretty much getting almost a Kaká-like role behind that front line.
Well, he hasn't had to worry too much about any kind of resistance through the midfield. The Korean midfield hasn't been aggressive in terms of marking or trying to dispossess Paquetá or Coutinho, so he has that freedom to go forward, and as long as Fabinho is providing the defensive cover and Arthur is there to be that link between the attack, or excuse me, the defense and the midfield and even the attack, that gives Paquetá some more space to roam going forward.
Son again, coming from the left, the lay back towards Kim Jin-soo. Draws it high and deep for Hwang, but out comes Allison to gather.
Expect Korea, now that they're down a goal, to commit more players forward when they have the ball, when they have the possession. They also are showing their defensive discipline. They are getting the numbers back when Brazil have possession. When they get those numbers back defensively, Korea, they're forcing Brazil to try to play the ball over the top. The goal came off of a turnover deep in the defensive half of Korea, and then Coutinho working his magic to create the goal-scoring chance. But when it's kind of run or play, build-up possession, Korea getting the numbers back and kind of making Brazil play the ball side to side instead of as direct as they would like.
Overlap is on. The former Paranaense man trying to slide it in. Did it carry? Nope, he will get the corner. Fitting in quite well in Atletico Madrid for Felipe Luis, and filling in as well on the national team now. Marcelo Felipe Luis maybe in the rearview mirror of the 21-year-old, according to Tite. Near post flicked on, looking for Militao, but he's saying it came off a defender. Al-Janabi disagrees.
It looked like it came off a defender as well. One of those red shirts, that's what I thought, but no convincing the referee otherwise. So Korea playing it out of the back. They want short passes, short quick passes to maintain possession. Brazil trying to make it difficult by playing a little bit higher, deny that connection through the middle. Pretty high back line as well.
Near side, Kim into the middle for Lee Jae-sung. Ju spanking it long. Up-stepping Kim Jin-soo trying to get around Danilo, who brings him down. A bit cynical, but a free kick upcoming for South Korea.
Able to get around Danilo. Danilo clipped him from behind. There should be a yellow card on Danilo. He was beaten by Kim Jin-soo. Got him from behind. That should be a yellow card on Danilo. That's a clear foul, intentional foul from behind. He should be in the book there. That's a yellow card for sure on Danilo.
Near, deflected away. Danilo trying to lift it back over his head. It rattles around and still in play. Now Son with a shot that doesn't quite bend enough. Good pressure from the Koreans.
That first attempt there off the free kick was tricky for the Brazilian defense, and then Son with a little bit of space. You know he has the skill to bend it. Into twice. Ooh,
and again, the new interpretation. Doesn't matter if there was, from an attacking perspective, if there was an intent or anything. If it hits the arm, it's supposed to be a handball.
Looked like a handball on Jung Woo-young.
Dropping it back. Wang Yi-chun saying on that far flank out for the Brazilian throw.
What we saw in that sequence that led to the Korea set piece, we saw basically defensively 4-5 in the end. Coutinho, Paquetá, Fabinho, Arthur, Jesus flat in that midfield defensively. It was a smart run by Kim Jin-soo and the left back for Korea to move up the pitch there, and they were able to get that long switch over the top there. Both teams defensively trying to maintain that organization, keep themselves disciplined and organized. That Brazilian magic is
Switching to the near side, Jesus. Nice defense and a good double team. But now, didn't look like it, but the official a lot closer than we are. Kim Jin-soo getting tangled, and down goes the Brazilian. Is there a foul here? He did have a hold, yeah.
That right arm wrapped up Gabby Jesus.
$14 টাকা হয়েছে টোটাল
Left back for Korea. Impressed with his performance so far in this matchup. Timed his runs very well down the left side.
To the back post, just skims over Marquinhos. Back into the mix, chested down Militao. Fabinho laying it off for Archer, who hasn't seen many touches, but we've seen from his time at Barcelona he can shoot from there.
And Archer kind of conceding the space or conceding the attack to move his Paquetá. Providing defensive cover, but just being a little bit deeper and allowing Paquetá to go forward more.
Midway through this opening half. Only goal coming from Paquetá in the 9th minute. Nice build-up for Coutinho and Anlodi. There, the goal scorer. Coutinho seems to have taken to Bayern Munich and it's revitalized his play both for club and country. Whipped in and carried away by Kim Moon-hwan.
Barcelona fans were not too happy with his performances for the Blaugrana. Frankie de Jong coming into the mix and then Vidal getting more playing time. Barcelona saying, all right, might not need you as much, you're not going to get that much playing time. They seem to have Barcelona has a good relationship with Bayern in terms of loaning out players. It's worked out well for Coutinho at Bayern. He's becoming more and more beloved figure as he continues to play well in the Bundesliga for the Bavarian club.
This team that was looking for a replacement for the likes of Ribéry and Robin. There was room at the end, but he's made himself at home. Barcelona could get him back, but you know what? Bayern might want to hold on the way things have gone this season.
And Bayern, over the last 3 or 4 seasons, have had some success and good times with South American midfielders on loan from Spanish clubs. So he might want to make that permanent for Felipe Coutinho.
Quickly out wide for Lodi. Back for Arthur. Sweet touch. Coutinho now out wide again. Lodi drives it, deflected away by Kim Moon-hwan. Corner kick Brazil.
Gotta like the touch by Coutinho. And Coutinho running into that space as well. Korea, they're getting the numbers back defensively and they're keeping the shape. They're still giving up a lot of space quickly to Brazil in the middle.
By the way, that person you saw Paulo Bento complaining to on the bench, the Canadian-born Korean coach, from distance by Fabinho sails over. Michael Kim, who was born in Toronto, brought in by the federation as one of 2 local assistants, if you will. Actually spent some time in the Manchester United system earlier in his life, but now maybe in line should Paulo Bento depart.
That's interesting.
Nice ball for Richarlison. He knew he didn't need to hit it hard. He almost hit it perfectly.
Sneaky. Yeah, sneaky, very sneaky. Great through ball to Richarlison. He takes an extra touch on it, a little bit of the flair on the ball. I don't know if he was taking a shot or he was trying to square it into the middle for Gabi Jesus, but Jesus coming from that wide position, had a lot of ground to make up to get into the middle to get a touch onto it. Still Richarlison, after a couple of offsides earlier in this match, starting to find a little bit of room.
Control by Juan, drops it back, shot from Lee is blocked. And rolls over to Henan Lodi, who passes back to Allison to clear. A curling ball stays in play, but this time goes to the Koreans. Little dummy on that far side. Juan inside the slide. My interview town denies. Juan was open if it gets through.
Wang Hee-chan trying to link up a Wang Wuzhou. And how about that little dummy and the little stutter step there by Wang Hee-chan to get into that space and get the opportunity, get the room. Send it in, so there's just a brilliant little stutter step there by Wang on that right wing.
Front clear by Militao.
I'd say down the right side, Korea look dangerous. I know Son on a couple of occasions on the left.
Song inside finds a gap, but it was Arthur who slides in front. Might not get as much credit as he should for his defensive prowess, the ex-Grêmio man.
One thing we know for sure about the system that Chichi plays, if you're a midfielder and you're mostly an attack-minded midfielder, and you're not getting goals, you're not getting the goal-scoring chances, if you track back defensively, he'll keep calling you up and he'll keep playing you in the game. He definitely appreciates the hard work defensively from the midfield after proving it there.
And it's intriguing because going back to his time at Corinthians, he did have that defense-first mentality, but I think now that he has all of this talent at his disposal with Brazil, what he did when he stepped in was to solidify the defense, let people know what the responsibilities were, but because there was that foundation, they were able to bring back the show.
And that's the mark of a great coach is not to be stubborn. Yes, he has his defensive mentality from Corinthians that helped him win a Libertadores and a FIFA Club World Cup, but also realizing that I have all these great attacking players, Coutinho, Richarlison, Gabi Jesus, Neymar.
আমি সাইকেলটা ঠিক করলাম কেন জানো এই ভাবিতে 30 টাকা
make the whole team be defensive. It's almost anti-Brazilian to be entirely defensive, so he does give him that freedom. He's willing to change up his tactics to allow the players to go forward and be attack-minded, while at the same time keeping their defense solid.
Is he under pressure though?
Always. Oh, you're a Brazilian coach, you're always under pressure. You never
games without a win.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people felt he should have been fired after the World Cup.
But they kept him and won a Copa America because of it.
Which is smart because he is the best Brazilian coach out there.
He lets him run, sails all the way across, will stay for Son. Can shoot behind if he wishes. Trying to get through Son, you mentioned, was possessed in the double team. Now, the one thing they do have is a very busy year upcoming. If there is going to be a change, you figure it will be after this game. I don't see any signs of it. In March, World Cup qualifying gets underway, and the rumors being they will go right back to the same exact calendar they have over the last 4 World Cups. Now for Copa America also coming up in June, so it will be a very busy year for Brazil, and World Cup qualifying goes on for a 2.5 marathon. Took his performance defending that Copa America crown go a long way to determining his future.
I can't see the Brazilian national team. Okay, let's say they do get Chichi in the next few months. Who do they bring in? That's a good point.
Chance for Son inside, trying to find the trigger with his right foot, but Brazil keeps him off balance. Long ball from Jude. Wong on the far flank. And he will get that final touch off the defender for the corner.
What we're seeing with some of these Brazilian defenders, especially out wide, is that they're getting help defensively with a couple of players as there's Youngmin Son's brilliance on the ball. Especially out wide, you'll see a Gabi Jesus track back, Coutinho track back defensively. At least he's tracking back and helping out offensively. So the defensive effort, as you might expect from that requires that Chichi requires as well.
ব্রাজিলের খেলা হচ্ছে আমি চ্যানেলে লাইভ
Ria's looking very dangerous.
250 minutes.
খেলা দেখে উনি খেলা সব আমি যখন ক্রিকেট খেলা সব দেখি উনি ফুটবল খেলা খবর কি আমি আগে সব আমি আমার কথা আমি খবর দেন ফুটবল তো ভাই দেখি আমি মেজে ভাই ফুটবল নিয়ে জানি এক আমি কতদিন স্টপ করছি জানি কথা বলা এই দেখো কতদিন তাহলে for this এখন এরা যা করতে আমার কাম হলে হলো তো আমার এটা দরকার আছে আপনি তো নেইমারের গালেতে নাই ব্রাজিল হারিয়ে
Asian championships.
একদম অন্ধভাব বাঙালিরা বেশি দেয়া না বিদেশি করতে পারলে কোন আমার মনে হয় তুমি ভালো কিছু করতে
underway for the
না এই কথা কর ঠিক পরে যে কোনো সময় যে কোনো কিছু কই আমি চাই করু করে আপকো ভাই আপনি কই করতে পারবো না কি করে দেখা আসলে মনে হয় সেটা করতে হবে
Japan getting shot earlier today by the way. Ball lifted, diving header by Kim Min-jae. Steps Fabinho and tripped up just outside the 18.
Japan losing to a Venezuela, was it?
Big time, yeah.
Venezuela is a team that they have some talented players. I could see them qualifying for the World Cup in 2022.
They've come close the last three, but Sullivan Rondona hat-trick in a 4-1 victory over Japan. All 4 goals scored in the opening 40 minutes for the Venezuelans. Under Rafa Dudamel, the veteran goalkeeper, seemed to have become much more composed. So, 1 goal to their name, Coutinho looking to make it 2, 10 minutes from the half. 4 in the wall, and again, the attacker's not allowed to be within a yard, so there's a mini window in front of yellow jerseys. A yard off his line, show. Coutinho to the near ball. He couldn't have hated a masterpiece any better.
Mungkin gue nih kiar berapa? Apa itu sambil buat di mana sekarang? Sambil buat di mana? Sambil buat apa? Itu dia.
Coutinho is having himself an excellent first half. Remember, it was his dribbling that set up the first goal, and then he struck a goal lasso here for the second goal.
Australia যাবেন একদিন Australia যাবেন তো তুলনামূলক হিসেবে ভালো টিম
I think Spider-Man and Mr. Fantastic could keep out a goal like that.
ভাই এই যে কত সেবার এশিয়ার চ্যাম্পিয়ন কাতার কম ওহো আগের বার ছিল কি জায়গা কাতার খেলার জন্য ভাই নিজের দেশের এটা ইয়া আছে না আবার বিশ্বকাপ খেজোস
Maybe Allison.
Yeah.
Good thing he's on his team.
নিজের দেশে খেলার একটা থাকে না
But almost picture perfect by Coutinho. Goal number 17.
3টা সিরিজ জিতলো নিজের দেশে খেলার একটা অ্যাডভান্টেজও পাইছে
2-0 Brazil as we head towards the half.
Also have to give credit to Fabinho because Fabinho is the one that made that bursting run forward that led to the foul, that led to the free kick goal.
We were talking about Tite moments ago. The pressure is building, but perhaps, as you said, unlike maybe a decade ago where there were a horde of coaches who might have the caliber.
Yeah.
There aren't that many at the moment. But Ferran Lodi coming out. Alexandro, some of the other players saying that they were going to try and grab this victory for Tite to take some of the pressure off. They're halfway there, only a little further away than the last try. Let's see if Brazil can do it again.
Brazil being aggressive, they're being direct, running into the space.
Coutinho, just about 30 yards from the center of goal with an angle. Driving it in, not it clear. The monster getting his head in the way.
Well, they learned from the free kick about a minute earlier. This was more about getting the service to Richarlison than going directly on frame. And the monster, Kim Min-jae, reading it very well. Brazil, what separates Brazil from so many teams in the world is the fact that they have players that can finish consistently. The career Republic has shown that they can goal possession.
Ran it into the middle. Richarlison keeps it alive. Out comes Cho. just in
যাই
time.
ভালো হয় তার ভালো ফল
Korea Republic has
আমি
shown
আর্জেন্টিনা
that
সাপোর্ট
they
করি
can
দেখে
play the possession game with Brazil.
ব্রাজিল
But when it comes to that class,
অন্যতম
that
সেরা টিম
final
এটা স্বীকার করতে হবে
touch
যে কোনো আছে যাই যাই সাপোর্ট করুক
in the penalty area,
জার্মান
দ্বিতীয় সারির দলও না হয়
Brazil
তাও
just
কিন্তু তাও
a class
1 থেকে
above,
30 এর মধ্যে
much better than Korea in that respect.
দল দিতে না ঠিক আছে ব্রাজিল জার্মানি ইতালি
That's
ফ্রান্স
usually what separates these
Argentina,
very good teams like Korea from the all-time great teams
আর্জেন্টিনা
like
উরুগুয়েও কিন্তু
Brazil.
সেই প্রিয় দল এগুলো
Obviously, the midfield
Argentina
defenders,
এখন
but
যে
the
দলটা
fact that
খেলে
they
এগুলো
can
করতেছে এই টিমটা কালকে খেলা দেখে
these lethal goal scorers
কালকে না ব্রাজিলের সাথে খেলা দেখে
from all over the pitch.
কালকে খেলা কালকে খেলাও দেখি
Brazil had
ব্রাজিলের
that.
যেদিন ব্রাজিলের সাথে রাগ খেলছে তার দ্বিগুণ ভালো খেলছে কালকে
Two midfielders scoring
সাথে খেলা তো
set us out.
Here's some of the
No,
Korean
no, no,
fans in the
no,
background
no,
singing
no,
their
no,
support,
no,
win
no,
or
no, no,
lose, but it's frustrating at the moment. Everywhere they look, there seems to be a yellow jersey between themselves and goal. 5 minutes left in this first half. Nice ball across by Lee, slips away, Son steps up, tripped up by Pakistan, free kick for South Korea.
Well done by South Korea to get in, find a little bit of space in the middle, play the ball quickly into that space, and they force the Brazilian defenders to track back, or especially the midfielder track back, and Pakistan commits the foul. It's a good, patient, intelligent build up there by Korea, finding that gap in between the lines, between that midfield defensive line and then the back line defensive line.
Set plays can be the difference maker for underdogs when they start to climb back. We know what Son can do. Thing is, we also know what Allison can do.
Allison, the top 2 or 3 goalkeepers in the world.
Sorry, YouTube.
5 in the wall.
Ducking in.
Wong pointing out the 6 inches Brazil is cheating forward. It's about 25, 26 yards out. Kim the left foot, but they'll leave it for Young. Off the chest. He almost scored in both nets.
Chaos in the area. Off the free kick by Jung. Very close.
Deflection in the wall. Not sure if it was by design. Maybe one of the Koreans got a boot out there and it changed the direction off the chest of Allison.
And how did they get away with Arthur hiding behind the wall there?
Good.
Well, as long as he starts a yard away. Remember, it was starting to be a fashion a couple of years ago. Defender behind the wall, kind of throwing their body down. Ball flipped away. Basically, what that did is allow the wall to jump, and then you have that extra body plugging that gap.
Yeah.
ফ্রান্সের খেলা পছন্দ হয় এবার বিশেষ করে ফ্রান্স এভাবে জিতছে বিশ্বকাপটা আমি চাচ্ছিলাম যে ক্রোয়েশিয়া চ্যাম্পিয়ন হলে আমি খুব
keep it on the ground and score a free kick by basically holding it under the ground, under the wall, the players that were jumping.
Underdog.
আগের দিকে বিশ্বকাপে এরকম অনেকবার হয়েছে ভাই, এগুলা ঘটনা। ক্রিকেটের মধ্যে ইন্ডিয়াতে 83 সালে চ্যাম্পিয়ন হয়েছে, কেমনে হয়েছে? হুট করে চ্যাম্পিয়ন হয়েছে।
কিন্তু 11টা মনে করছে তোমার
11টা ফেভারিট ছিল, নিজের দেশের মাঠে খেলা না, এটা
ফুটবল বিশ্বকাপ ফেভারিট
বিশ্বকাপে দুই একবার এরকম হয়েছে।
Inside, Arthur slotting back to fill the gap.
প্রথম দুইবার উরুগুয়ের কথা বলেছে, 30-34
তখনকার সময়ে উরুগুয়ে
2 minutes left to go in regulation in this opening half. It's been an entertaining affair. Korea just starting to find a few gaps to probe in the Brazilian defense, but it was Coutinho that's been the difference. And I guess in some ways, he didn't give him credit for helping to defend what could have been a goal for South Korea with a little help from his skinny friend. Actually, it's Jesus over on the left side. For Coutinho, lifting it for Gabi. Flipped away to the corner.
I think Gabi Jesus going over to the left, wanting to get involved in the attack because the majority of the Brazil's attack and when they look the most dangerous going forward has come from their left side. Coutinho, that's why you play in the midfield and not in the back defensively. But it didn't go over the line, so no harm.
Headed down into the middle, knotted down by Paquetá. Looks like offside against Militao on the initial ball.
Good to see the Brazilian defenders going forward. That's close. It's very close. But one thing about this first half, I'm sure it's in stark comparison or difference to the match against Argentina. Obviously, Korea, not a team that's going to be too physical, get stuck into those hard tackles. So that allows Brazil to play a more free-flowing, loose game with more space to operate. Koreans not known as being that physical, hard marking team, and I'm sure the Brazilians are used to the South American way where it can be like that, so a little more finesse from Korea.
Bursting up the middle, Son, surrounded by 4 defenders. They know where the danger lies.
Fabinho Marquinhos collapsing on Son there to dispossess him, but it still was a thrilling run through the middle by Son.
Charlison trying to bring it under control, but that changed his momentum, and South Korea able to gobble it up. 1 minute of added time in the books. 2 goals for Brazil. Coutinho, the man.
And Brazil putting on a show in the first half. Korea looking very strong and showing some flashes, but Brazil just a class above.
So Coutinho setting up Paquetá in the 9th minute, scoring on the free kick in the 36th. Korea coming close, but could not find the goal. 2-0 Brazil at the break in Abu Dhabi.
Corona Hotline. It's only, I can't keep track of all these rule changes.
Well, there's one game day rule that will never change. Limes and Coronas.
And they'll probably change that one too?
No, they won't.
Oh, hey, I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding. I had you, didn't I?
Call now to find your game day beach.
Hey guys, this is my friend Barry.
Unlimited data, Barry?
Ranked #1 in customer service by J.D. Power, Barry.
Let me take your coat, you little award winner, you.
Actually, that's my fur.
Oh, be careful of the man's fur.
She wanted to move someplace warm.
But he wanted snow for the holidays. So we built a snow globe.
Get that later.
But the one thing we could both agree on was getting Geico to help with our homeowner's insurance.
What?
Switching and saving was really easy.
I love you!
Sweetie, hands off the glass.
Ugh.
Call Geico and see how easy saving on homeowners and condo insurance can be.
I love her!
Attention cancer victims who use the weed killer Roundup. A federal jury unanimously found that Monsanto's popular weed killer Roundup was a substantial factor in causing cancer. You may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you or someone you love used Roundup and were diagnosed with cancer, call the number on your screen now. Don't wait. There may be time deadlines to file a claim.
Call 800-817-6015. That's 800-817-6015.
There's no set path, no way you have to be. So why not do what you've been dreaming of? You've got the power, we've got the tools. Make a website with GoDaddy and put what you want out there.
Every time it's been way too long. A Corona gets its lime. Every time you meet from across the party, and every time your favorite place is more about who than where, a Corona gets its lime.
Two global giants, two legendary rivals, Flamengo, River Plate, the Copa Libertadores fighting live Saturday exclusively on beIN Sports.
Hello! Listen to this, my friends. beIN Sport is giving away to 5 lucky fans a round trip to Europe to watch the best La Liga and all matches. To participate is very easy. Log into beINGoldenTicket.com, fill out the form, upload your picture, accept the terms and conditions, click on the submit button, and that's it. You're all set. Unbelievable! Stop dreaming about traveling to Europe to watch the best soccer league. beIN Golden Ticket will take you there.
Saturday. The best international soccer is here. Valverde's squad is on top of the table and can't afford any mistakes as Real Madrid is trailing right behind. Leganes versus Barcelona, La Liga on beIN Sports.
Mohammed bin Zayed Stadium in Abu Dhabi, Brazil and South Korea looking to close things out in style. Chiche, well, Alabento looking to get into the East Asian Championships on a roll, but early on, Philippe Coutinho making his mark and Paquetá on the score sheet.
Yeah, it's well worked by Philippe Coutinho. First of all, his ability to beat Ju Sejong one-on-one and then play it out right wide to Hernan Lodi, and then Richarlison making a run near post, attracting about 3 defenders, and that opens up the space for Paquetá to get inside of Kim Jin-soo for the opening goal. And Heung-min Son, long-range effort. He was looking dangerous in this matchup, as you might expect, when he's had his one-on-one opportunities. This time he had some space, that lethal left foot, but Alisson, Liverpool, the goalkeeper, denying a Tottenham forward. And then Coutinho with some magic, a brilliant free kick. This actually started with Fabinho getting fouled after a strong run forward, and then Coutinho bending it over the wall. Korea almost getting the first goal of the match for them. The Taeguk Warriors a little bit unlucky here, as Felipe Coutinho coming back defending, hits the post. Guys to give the post a little bit of a kiss for luck and being thankful that it didn't go over the line in Brazil, with a strong performance in the first 45 minutes.
Well, the final whistle of that opening half, but still 45 minutes more of soccer to come. Brazil with the 2-goal lead at the half.
Lowe's helps you do hosting right. With the best prices of the year on appliances to help you handle anything and everything. Shop now for appliance savings like these. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's.
Have you ever worked with Dr. Francis? Oh, yeah. He's okay.
Just okay?
Guess who just got reinstated?
Well, not officially. Nervous?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out.
I'll see you in there.
Just okay is not okay. AT&T has America's best network, now with our best plans at our best prices, starting at $35 a line for 4 lines. New from AT&T.
Bicycling is the best way to travel, and it's great exercise. But it's hard to find space for that big, bulky bike. You need Bike Nook Bicycle Stand. Bike Nook frees up to 3.5 feet of valuable floor space instantly. Roll the back wheel of the bike onto the Bike Nook ramp, then roll the bike backwards until it's secure on the vertical brace. Bike Nook stores your bike instantly in a space-saving handstand position. Are you constantly banging into your bike? Get up and away with Bike Nook.
Available online at Amazon.
Lowe's helps you do hosting right. with the best prices of the year on appliances to help you handle anything and everything. Shop now for appliance savings like these. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's.
Hello! Listen to this, my friends. beIN Sport is giving away to 5 lucky fans a round trip to Europe to watch the best La Liga on matches. 5 rounds, 5 chances, 5 winners, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Visit beingolden.ticket.com to participate and for more information. Unbelievable! Stop dreaming! beIN Golden Ticket takes you to watch the best players on earth.
Integrated Sports presents a soccer showdown as Colombia battles rival Ecuador live on pay-per-view Tuesday, November 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. This is a critical match for both sides as they look to get ready for World Cup qualifying. That's Colombia versus Ecuador live from Red Bull Arena Tuesday, November 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, live on pay-per-view. To order, contact your pay-per-view provider.
Gorgeous night in the United Arab Emirates, and a little bit of footy just to add some spice to the equation. Brazil dominating the position, leading on the scoreboard, but George, South Korea starting to make a push as the half came to a close.
Yeah, Korea having their chances, and they actually look pretty aggressive and pretty skillful going forward when they've had the possession going forward and finding some spaces in the Brazilian defense. They just have to finish those chances.
Well, another 45 minutes, but that's also more time for Coutinho to work his magic. It is 2-0 Brazil at the break.
What if once in a blue moon happened more than once in a blue moon? Reach for the moon.
This is Elvenar, a mystical world waiting for you to build your own unique city. Invite ancient friends, the dwarves, fairies, and orcs, to ensure growth, wealth, and peace for your new home. Elvenar, available in the App Store and at elvenar.tv. Play now for free.
What if once in a blue moon happened more than once in a blue moon? Brewed with Valencia orange peel for a taste beyond the ordinary. Reach for the moon.
Friday afternoon face-off in the City of Light as PSG and Lille will meet once again. The Red and Blues are eager for payback for the heavy loss they suffered the last time these two met up. PSG versus Lille on beIN Sports.
Hello, my friends. The second draw for the golden ticket is underway. Oui. Listen to this. This time around, we are asking you to share your game day squad. A picture with your best friend, significant other, cousin, or even your pet for a chance to win a trip to Paris to watch PSG versus Monaco at the Parc des Princes. Unbelievable! This is your chance to win a trip to watch the best teams in the world. beIN Golden Ticket will take you there. Ooh la la.
La Liga, the best in the world, is here on beIN Sports. There are two of the best teams in the season. It's the historic Real Madrid. It's the furious Real Sociedad. Live from the Santiago Bernabéu Stadium this Saturday on beIN Sports.
What might have been a little deflection on the inside, and then Coutinho to the rescue, doing it the more conventional way as he scores his 17th goal. Final half of 2019 to come for Chiche and Brazil. Can they add to their lead? Stay with us.
Accidents will happen when you least expect them. Accidents will happen time and time.
Hey guys, this is my friend Barry.
Unlimited data, Barry?
Ring #1 in customer service by J.D. Power, Barry?
Let me take your coat, you little award winner, you.
Actually, that's my fur. Oh, be careful of the man's fur.
I can't believe they charged me this much. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Go to CashNetUSA.com now. If approved, you may get the money you need as soon as tomorrow.
Thanks. Who are you?
I'm CashNetUSA.com. Man.
Apply now at CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
Sports fans are gearing up at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear. From all the leagues, teams, and players you love. Shop now and hit today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
Accidents will happen when you least expect them. Accidents will happen time and time.
Substitutes out on the field with some final stretches as regulars making their way through the tunnels and back out onto the field. Could see quite a few changes in the second half, but Chiche tends to be the type that doesn't make too many at the break. Basically learn something from the first half, reinforce it during the break, and then give them a few minutes to put those pieces to the puzzle. We still might see a bit. Coutinho pretty much doing his job on the day, and there is some talent on the bench, as we talked about. Does he break out Firmino or give Richarlison a longer run? Maybe Gabi Jesus some time in the middle that he always longs for? Those are questions for him to answer. For Paulo Bento, there was some good moments to focus on that first half, but for the most part an inability to really threaten Brazil offensively until the final 5 minutes. And a little bit of bad fortune and bad timing, or they could have been on the scoreboard themselves.
And looking forward to seeing what happens in the second half. The players that come in for Brazil, even the players that come in for Korea. We mentioned before the opening whistle, the youngster for Valencia, Lee Kang-in. I'm interested to see what he can do if he comes onto the pitch here. Try to change things up, add a little more dynamic attacking prowess to the Korea attack. So that's a player to watch for the Valencia youngster, just 18 years old. So I'm looking forward to seeing what changes come about in the second half, especially for Brazil. You have the youngster Emerson, who's a defender for Real Betis. We talked about Wesley and his similarity to O Imperador Adriano. And even Rodrigo, who's starting to get a little more run with Real Madrid. So both teams have some intriguing young players that could come on the pitch here and make a difference, or at the very least to entertain us, which the beautiful game always seems to do. Lots of storylines in the second half.
Referee Amar El Janadi getting us underway. Bill Shane, George DiMattelis with you, and we are glad you have stayed with us. Second half of Brazil, South Korea from Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates. Early whistle as the foul right near the center spot. Ju Se-jong taken down. Was one of the more active players for South Korea in the midfield Jung as well behind him defensively. And again, you see with Paulo Bento, this Korean side likes to attack. They like to move the ball. We saw that in recent World Cups, but ball whacked inside, good control. Someone's got to take a shot, and saw why not, but he just couldn't come over it. That might have been the prettiest goal of the night.
Oh, that was beautiful football by Korea Republic. First of all, the switch down that right side to Hwang, and he gets it back. That was Hwang Hee-jo that got the ball down the right side, and then Hwang Hee-chan inside. I thought that Hwang, the number 11, should have taken that shot because he had the space, he had time to take that shot, but instead he played it out wide to Sung Kyung-min and missed the spectacular volley. But still, well done by the Korea Republic attack to find those holes in those spaces. Loose marking and loose defending from Brazil almost gave up a goal. It's very intelligent football there by Korea.
Into the area, Son again pressuring, but on Lodi smartly plays it out. Looked for an opening, nothing there, so surrender the throw in.
Give his team time to recalibrate, get the bodies back, get the players back, reorganize the defense.
Hwang inside for Song. Hwang, as they've doubled up the wings on this near flank, but surrender possession in the process.
There's a lot of space on the opposite side for them, for Brazil.
It had to happen. 48 minutes in, the first bad touch by Coutinho.
His intent, or at least what I view as his intent, was to try and continue to get the ball to Lucas Paquetá, who was making that overlapping run on the right flank, on that right side, after Gabi Jesus had come in and got a touch onto it. The first bad touch of the game for Felipe Coutinho, as they say.
Beautiful ball, pops up. No hand, says the ref. The Brazilians disagree.
Korea Republic, they have the ability to play attractive, direct possession football. And as we mentioned in the first half, it's just the finishing. That's the problem that they've had so far.
Hwang holds on to possession despite the pressure from Pavinho. Hwang again, the Salzburg winger inside for Hwang Hee-jo, but the Brazilian defense able to clear.
Hwang Hee-chan also, he had that overlapping run by the right back, Kim Woo-hwan. So had to play it inside. See, I thought right there that Hwang, after he got the pass from the other Hwang Hee-jo, made the lay off the pass to Hwang Hee-chan. I thought Hwang Hee-chan should have taken that shot. But he did see that Hyun-Min Son was open. Still well worked by Korea, exposing a big hole in the Brazilian defense.
Coutinho, little backspin will hold that for Danilo. And many Brazilians ready to cast off, but doing well at Juventus and slotting in on the right side here today. Coutinho keeps it moving wide for Lodi. Lifted into the middle, grabbed by Chul. You look at the bench for both of these teams, and some interesting players to keep an eye on. Gift wrapped right back for Brazil. Arthur disguises the pass to Richarlison. Not asking for the penalty, even though there did seem to be a bit of contact and getting a talking to from the referee.
Yeah, Richarlison's lucky he doesn't get a yellow card for simulation here. First of all, it's Kim Min-jae just basically passing it to Arthur. Good turn by Richarlison.
You look at the bench and the debutants. Emerson Royal could fill in at that right back situation. Douglas Luiz, the city man now at Villa, waiting to make his debut, maybe giving Fabinho a break. And we mentioned Wesley and Rodrigo both making their debuts against Argentina a few days back. So plenty for Brazil in store. Meanwhile, on the other side, Lee Kang-in just 3 caps for the Valencia product. But he might be just what they need, especially if they're going to gamble a bit to try and get on the scoreboard. Maybe the best we've seen from Paquetá, but he hasn't touched the ball much in the second half. Korea trying to build a rhythm. Jung for Lee. Back for Ju and wide. Jung. Kim Jin-soo. Smart play, gets the throw.
Korea have to be careful here. They could be susceptible to the counterattack. Back line is very high between Kim Moon-hwan and Kim Min-jae, Kim Young-won and Kim Jin-soo. The all-Kim back line of Korea. They're playing high up. That could leave them vulnerable for a counterattack if Brazil return it quickly.
Stripped away, Son from distance. But is adrenaline getting the better of him?
Actually, this is a great play here by Lee Jae-sung. He wins the ball back quickly. I've mentioned that they are susceptible to the counter, but Lee wins the ball quickly off of Coutinho, lays it off to Son Heung-min, Son Heung-min, I should say, and his shot going high. It's the aggressive play by Korea to win the ball back in the midfield. When you're playing at a high line, you cannot afford to give the ball or allow the Brazilian attack to get into that space. And win it back quickly. That's what they did on that sequence.
Paquetá. Archer was blocked, so back to Fabinho. Really going through the Milan man. Archer pretty much the foil throughout this match. Here for Richarlison to clear it away.
Archer, he has to do a lot more defensive work alongside Fabinho. And he's a player that can create great goal-scoring chances, or at least create or contribute well to the build-up of a goal-scoring chance in his deep midfield line position.
Sticking a leg in, Juan trying to steal it away, but getting the man instead.
Deep lying midfield position. Gotta make sure I get the words right. Ryan has to be careful. He has a yellow card already. 34th minute in the first half, so lucky didn't see the second yellow there. It wasn't a yellow card foul there. Definitely a foul, but definitely not a yellow card.
10 minutes into the second half. A little too far even for Coutinho direct. So he'll drive it into the middle, up and over. Paquetá just underneath it.
Excellent service here by Coutinho. Originally, it looks like Hwang Ui-jo is the one marking Paquetá, but he's able to give himself a little bit of space. Kim Min-jae not close enough to bother the header of Paquetá. And the marking for Korea is going to have to tighten up on those set pieces.
Frustration from Paulo Bento, the 50-year-old from Lisbon.
Not going to understand why he's frustrated in this match. Obviously down 2-0. And then Paquetá has that header. And he's relatively he's unchallenged on that header.
Threaded wide. Gabi Jesus driving on Kim. Back for Paquetá. Turn shot deflected over. That one might have been sneaking in.
Well done, Gabi Jesus down the right side. Look at Paquetá's body positioning here to get the shot off. Back toward goal. Uses his body to shield the defender and turns with the left foot to threaten the goal of Jofion Wu.
We talked about it earlier. He has never quite looked comfortable with the national team, but apparently a few months in Milan can change that.
Yeah.
Into the middle, grabbed by Cho Hyun-woo. Because he has been the focal point today. Coutinho with the goal and the set, but it's been Paquetá who's been the architect for much of the game.
And I think the design of the tactics of Chichi in this match, having Arthur drop back a little bit deeper. Obviously Fabinho's more defensive minded. Give Paquetá that space, that room to operate. The Korean midfield hasn't been an aggressive, hard marking midfield, so he has more room to operate. Plays into the game, the kind of game and style that Lucas Paquetá wants to play.
Little gap inside. Wang. Up steps Jung. Still no changes for either side. Waiting to see, I guess, which boss blinks first, approaching the hour mark. Maybe a bit more of a reason for Paulo Bento to try and give his starters some chemistry time against a quality opponent like Brazil, with the East Asian Games coming up in just a few weeks' time. You could also say, though, why not take the chance to broaden your talent pool and see what else you have to work with?
I'm sure that there are players on the bench for Korea Republic, South Korea, who are dying to get on the pitch and play against Brazil.
You might only get the chance once. This is only the 6th time these two teams have played each other. 4 victories for Brazil in the prior. Korea's only win coming back in 1999. Although they do have 4 goals in the 5 games. Still looking for their first here today.
If you're a player like Kim Shin-wook, who had that big game, scored a lot of goals in that 8-0 demolishing of Sri Lanka, you want to have a chance to play against a Marquinhos or Militao. If you're the Valencia kid, Lee Kang-in, you want to be able to show what you can do as well.
Avinho, nice touch. Lodi. More patience from Brazil. Marquinhos. Wide for Jesus.
Kim Min-jae is shattering Richarlison. Richarlison is...
Nice Coutinho, trailing run. Richarlison back for Hernan Lodi. Carries all the way through. And oh! Danilo with the express. He might not have been the target, but he hits the bullseye.
Brilliant Brazilian build-up for the 3rd goal. In Korea, they had the numbers in the box in their favor defensively, but they did not keep track of who was in the area. And that ball filters all the way through to Danilo, and it's a brilliant strike, brilliant finish. The left back getting the assist on the right back's goal. Look how many Korean defenders are in the area. There is no way that ball should filter to Danilo when you have 6, 7 Korean players in the area.
In some ways, that's the Brazilian version of a hopeful ball.
Yeah.
There were a bunch of yellow jerseys, and I don't think it hit any of the ones he intended it to.
Yep.
but with the Koreans standing off, it carried all the way to Danilo, who charged in from right back for his first Brazilian goal. 3-0.
And it just goes to show that sometimes you can have the numbers back defensively and still give up a goal, still give up goal-scoring chances, because it's not so much about the numbers, it's about the marking and reading the spaces, reading the players, and being aggressive when it comes to the ball. And the spacing was all off for the Korea Republic defense, and Danilo timing his run very well. And the left back setting up the right back for that third goal.
Carries all the way to the far side. Danilo with a little pep in his step. And again, a player that was in some ways ridiculed, cast off from early in his European career, but now stepping in at Juventus and giving them a little bit of depth, and now also earning the faith and trust of Tite. And that goal will do nothing to change it.
A lot of people, when he made the move from Porto to Real Madrid, were like, who is this kid? They weren't really sold on his talent. And he went to Manchester City, and that didn't quite work out as well for him. But
Pep Guardiola gave him faith.
That's true.
And started to rebuild.
Yeah. Because it seemed like at Real Madrid his confidence was torn down. Pep gave him some good run, gave him some good playing time, but he eventually found his way to Juve. One thing we know about Juventus, they want to win that Champions League, and they're trying to build depth, and they have quality depth at pretty much every position.
So 3-0 for Brazil on a bit of good fortune. In for Jesus, Paquetá back, and they'll swing it around. Fabinho, eyes in the back of his head.
This is dangerous what Korea is playing here, trying to press a little bit, put some pressure on the ball. It's leaving holes in the back line in the defense. The Korean.
One touch Lodi, he likes that.
Yep.
And I think Richarlison kicking himself just a little bit. Could have been a better ball, but Richarlison seemed to be caught flat-footed.
A little slow to react to that one-time pass by Henan Lodi. There's the goal. There's at least 7 Korea defenders in the penalty area, and that ball filters all the way through to Danilo.
Again, just a friendly.
Yeah.
But his first win since June. Well, bar an amazing comeback in this final half hour.
And it's been the Lucas Paquetá goal was some, I wouldn't say lazy marking, but certainly wasn't as tight as it should be. The Coutinho goal was just free kick golazo. And then Danilo, that ball should not get to Danilo when there's 7 defenders in the penalty area. These are things that Paulo Bento have to fix pretty soon.
Off the line. Song. 2 goals in that Sri Lanka game himself. Draws the foul. That's about 5 yards from the goal line. And a free kick opportunity for the Koreans. Korea about ready to make the first change. And it's going to be in the midfield. Who's coming out? It'll be Hwang. So taking one wing out. And Na Sang-ho, the 23-year-old from Tokyo, is about to check in for his 10th cap.
I thought Wang Yi-chan down that right side had some good moments in the first half. Very little influence in the second half. Other than that one.
Inside and cleared. Allison relying on his defense. By the way, speaking of that, maybe one of the better performances for Eder Militao as well for Brazil. Thiago Silva's still the man, although getting up there
eventually they're going to have to. Transition from Thiago Silva.
A little busy with the Copa Libertadores final coming up for Flamengo against River Plate. Of course, you can catch that on beIN Sports as well. Chance for Lee. Dishes wide. Kim takes the one touch, forces the cross in. Now trying to get the touch, but Brazil coming away, and Coutinho through that spinning door. Now the flag come up. It stays down here. Richarlison. Ball popped up, and he still almost finds the corner.
Brazil, we know that they can build the attack with possession. But one other thing we know about Brazilian football, clever, intelligent footballers, when the opportunity presents itself on the counterattack, they can make it happen as well. Coutinho, with the beautiful ballet footwork, give himself a little bit of space, playing it out wide, and then the quick switch to Richarlison. I thought Richarlison at first would try to go far post. That's what opened up, or at least looked like it opened up for him in the far post, but I think he was a little too deep in the penalty area, so he tried to roof the shot near post. But still, Brazil always dangerous, with or without the ball. Tried to go near post with it there. I thought far post would be the better option, but I think that touch with the knee carried him a little too deep in the penalty area, so he had to left foot that shot to the near post.
Down low again, Brazil does not like just to whack it away. Marquinhos does that time, but Coutinho stripped. Son looked like he went through the legs before he had his legs taken out. Referee right there. And now let's see, he'll stop the play. I don't think he's called a foul. It's more just because Son appears to be in pain. Take another look.
Well, first of all, well done by Ju Yu Wong to win the ball off of Coutinho. Get it to Son, and then Son bursting forward. And it looks like Danilo. I think Danilo fouls him there. Stops the progress if Son doesn't make any contact with the ball.
Chiche. A return, by the way, to the Emirates. He's actually in charge of a couple of UAE teams. Al Ain back in 2007, Al Wada a few years later, before he headed back to Brazil to embellish his Corinthians career.
I think won another Brasileiro title in his second stint, or in the stint after the stint that he got the Libertadores. So a beloved figure, to say the least, for Ochimao. And there was actually talk, I think after he won the first Libertadores in the Club World Cup, there was rumors that he was going to take the Inter job, Internazionale in Italy. Not Internacional Porto Alegre. There was some rumors that they might have, the Nerazzurri might actually hire him as their manager. Didn't go through, obviously, but that was the kind of regard he was held in at the time.
Under pressure, gifted away by Kim Moon-Hwan. Quickly down the middle, Jesus drags, drives, shoots, but wide.
Gabi Jesus. Well, that's that center forward striker mentality. But when he looks at the film, he's going to see that he has Lucas Paquetá to his right. He actually opens up, looks like he's going to pass to Lucas Paquetá. Instead, runs away from Paquetá in the defense and then tries to beat the goalkeeper near post. I think if he actually makes the pass, because he opens up his hips as if to make that pass, that through ball to Paquetá, who's making a great run into that right middle channel. If he makes the pass to Paquetá, he's one-on-one against the goalkeeper. We could be looking at 4-0 for Brazil. A little bit selfish there by Gabi Jesus, but when you wear that number 9, you have that confidence that you can score when you get in the penalty area. And he has that confidence, just I think made the wrong decision.
Another chance, Kim trying to direct traffic and then forgets to hit the accelerator. Good run by Son. Good step up here though. Shot from distance. Allison volleys it into the air. Cleared by Eder. Still in danger. Korea fighting for a little bit of consolation here. And it finally trickles across as Na can't keep it in. Take another look at this blast from Kim Jin-soo.
Ooh, this is a glove burner.
Lucas Paquetá did not hear the footsteps.
Well done by Kim Jin-soo.
That one had some knuckle to it.
Well, Korea have had have shown some opportunities where they've find some spaces in that Brazilian defense. I'm sure Chichi, when he looks back at the tape, if it remains 3-0, he's going to get a clean sheet, but it's not going to be like a tight defensively earned clean sheet. It's just Korea have been able to find some spaces and they just haven't converted on their opportunities.
Well, let's see what Brazil can do. Already have 3 to their name. And Lodi. Finding the gaps on a hop. Archer not that far off target. Fans enjoying themselves in this final 15 minutes approaching.
I think Koreans are worried about the counterattack. They're not pushing as many numbers forward. They have to play the ball back. Obviously, the 3-0 disadvantage for Korea, it's a legitimate concern. I think these are the kind of matches, those friendlies, where you're down 3-0 and be aggressive going forward. Get those numbers forward. See what happens.
Knotted down, cleared away. Danilo, who might have gifted one. This one slapped over by Allison, helping to block, and then Son from distance again. The aggressors in the second half have been the Koreans.
Absolutely. No chance here by Son, but it's actually started Lee getting into the area and disrupting the Brazilian defense, and eventually back out for the captain.
Another change for the Koreans. Chang Kwon checking in from the corner. Son cleared out, regathered by Kim. Just a little high for Kim Jin-soo. Back for Son on this near side. There you see the change. Chung Hoon-hwan. Will he get a chance here? It flashed past 3 red jerseys, and again it's Kim Jin-soo at the back post, but he doesn't catch it clean. Kenan Lodi paying the price on this near side.
How about Kim Jin-soo? He's been very active in this second half. He was a player that stood out for me in the first half as well, the left back of Korea. I've been impressed with his performance, the left back for Korea, the Beijing Guan-based defender.
Guan, the Freiburg-based midfielder, getting his 23rd cap. Still hope we get a chance to see the little genius in Lee Kang-in just starting to force his way into this Korean side.
Yeah, I hope so too. I really want to see that a youngster have a chance to run and play against this Brazilian midfield and defense. That would be intriguing, very curious to see how he would fare.
A couple of changes suiting up for Brazil as well. Douglas Luiz just loosening up. Santos as well. Emerson could be making his debut.
Play up top with Wang, Rizhou.
So 4 attackers. Jung and Zhu currently holding the midfield. Threaded across from Marquinhos. Not sure he gets as much, anywhere near as much credit as he should, Marquinhos. Coming in, Paquetá telegraphed it a little bit, blocked away, and now Korea into the attack. Nice spin by Hwang Rizhou, trying to return the favor, not on this near side. But not Lodi enough, and Allison spanks it out to Archer in the midfield.
Marquinhos, to your point, Marquinhos, an excellent defender, kind of quietly does his job well. You don't talk about Marquinhos that much, and that's usually a good sign, which means he's doing well with his defensive responsibilities, makes the right passes. A quietly solid, strong, dependable defender.
Good distributor too. Let's see how that one plays. Far side, Jesus. And so far, first 2 changes coming for South Korea, 2 more on deck for Brazil. 3-0 with 10 minutes left, and they saw Allison off his line. Why not have a go? Kwon from distance. Well, it was Son instead. And you know what? If he would have gotten that one more to the right. So Archer will exit. Didn't recognize Douglas Luiz. Got the haircut.
Trying to look stylish. Keeping it smooth for the fans.
21-year-old, let's just say, a little less aerodynamic in his youth, coming out of Vasco. Saw him at Girona, where he was outstanding. But then City selling him on to Aston Villa.
Still a shame Girona got relegated. It
was a great team.
Yeah, it sure was. Christian Stuani scoring all those goals for Girona. Hopefully they'll be back on the Spanish top flight soon. They're fun to watch, and they cause problems for all the big teams in the top flight of La Liga. Of Spain, I should say.
Flying over to this near side. Kenan Lodi. Pressed. Throw in deep. You see Korea putting numbers forward. Can they force the turnover? And they do. Jung into the middle. Knotted into the 18. Taking care of business, Eder Militao. Jesus. Kim peels away, so the Man City striker with a little bit more time.
Danilo is frustrated out wide on the right. He made a hard effort to get into that space with Gabi Jesus. Got that ball in midfield and then didn't get the ball while he was bursting forward.
Ball wide for Lodi. Into the 18, sneaks it across. Coutinho shot deflected, and Cho back quickly to his feet.
Well, this is a situation here for Korea. Na Sang-ho, he's too far inside. He pinches too far in. That leaves a lot of space. Him and Kim Moon-hwan leaving way too much space on that right side, and that allowed him on Lodi to get into that area and squared for Coutinho. Those two have to be a little bit wider defensively. You can't pinch him too close.
In for Kwan, outside the 18, and a one-hopper into the arms of Allison. Again, more pressure from the Koreans.
Being more aggressive. And actually, Kwan gets helped out a little bit here. I believe is Lucas Paquetá that actually gets a touch on it. Either him or Fabinho gets a touch onto it that actually slows it up enough for Kwan to step up and take that shot.
Might be trailing by 3, but almost as many shots as Brazil, 12-11. 4 on target. Allison hasn't been tested wide, but the shots that have been at him have had some weight behind them.
Absolutely.
Threaded forward, Paquetá looking for a striker, Richarlison or Gabi Jesus, but Korea able to fill the gap between. 84th minute, and Paquetá's day is done. Roberto Firmino, wasn't sure if we'd see him, so Richarlison will go out to the flank, and Firmino will slide into the middle. I have a feeling there's a lot of Liverpool fans in Abu Dhabi.
Oh yeah, for sure. Paquetá, the opening goal of the match. Good, strong performance for the Milan man.
Meanwhile, Firmino, the 28-year-old, making his 44th appearance. Coutinho. First touch, Firmino. Richarlison, but a hard-charging Cho forces it wide.
We've seen about 2 or 3 different occasions where Richarlison is able to slide in behind that Korea defense. It just hasn't been able to put it away.
By the way, that play right there showing Firmino. He actually has 13 goals, which is a little high when you think about what type of player he is. He's more the setup man, the secondary man, the supplementary man. But he's starting, as he gets more mature in his game, to be able to convert himself. But I remember going back to his days at Hoffenheim. We talk about different types of strikers. Talked about Adriano earlier, that bull in the china shop. Firmino, normally think of center forwards, number 9s for Brazil as just being goal-scoring powerhouses. He's that guy that kind of skirts around the edges, draws the attention, and then finds ways to set up his teammates.
Yep.
But as we've seen with Liverpool and now with Brazil, starting to call his own number more often.
And he has that ability to finish the chances for sure, but his presence on the pitch just seems to open things up for everyone else, and that's where his real value lies. And that's something that the Brazil fans, Liverpool fans, you can't really measure it in numbers. You can probably measure it in trophies with Copa America and Champions League, but in terms of numbers, his value cannot be measured. That's how important a player he is, and he has the ability to finish his chances as well. And even during the 2018 World Cup in Russia, Chichi admitted that he probably should have started Firmino over Gabi Jesus more in the tournament. He admitted that he was maybe a little bit stubborn in that respect, because Firmino can be more helpful in the attack than Gabi Jesus was, especially in that tournament.
Well, it looks like Danilo's day might be done. Ball driven all the way back. Cho stepping out of his area. Nice step in by Danilo. He says there was a deflection. He's arguing for a throw-in. They're leading by 3 in the 87th minute. And Danilo arguing over a throw-in. Rodrigo also on the sideline. Interesting. Okay. So maybe Danilo will flip over towards the left. I haven't seen Emerson play on that side. But Kenan Lodi's day is finished.
Usually Emerson a right back with Real Betis.
Let's see what Danilo does.
So it looks like Hwang In-bom is coming in for Korea as well. But this is the time of the year, these matches where Chichi likes to experiment, put players in different situations.
Rodrigo, the other Brazilian, ready to check in. This will add a few moments. And it's Gabi Jesus' day. Good involvement, but no real chances. And now the young Madridista making his second appearance. South Korea also ready to make a switch as we head towards 90. And that will be in the midfield as Hwang In-bom checking in, the Vancouver Whitecaps midfielder. His 20th cap.
Jules Saint-Jean is the one that came off, yeah. Good to see some MLS representation in this game.
So 89th minute almost done. Would figure 3, maybe 4 minutes. Not really known as a goal scorer, but did chip in with 3 for the Whitecaps this season in his debut year. Out for Richarlison. Firmino leading the line. Rodrigo out wide. Dishes across. But back comes Hwang to cut out the pass.
Saw that Douglas Luiz was bursting forward in the attack as well. I think if he keeps it on the ground, squares it for Firmino, it's a good one-on-one situation for Brazil. Still fresh legs, just got in the game, still has to warm up a little bit. On that right side.
Kim Jin-soo flipping it back with a touch of flair. The left back's probably been one of the more impressive players for the Koreans on the day. 2 or 3 chances to score himself in the second half.
Yeah, I like what Kim Jin-soo has done on that left side, the left back for Korea. And as you mentioned, Phil, Danilo has moved over to the left, Emerson out wide on the right.
3 minutes to be added. Carried away by Emerson. One back by Kwan. And then stripped as Brazil and Rodrigo go on the break. Firmino, don't know how he does it. He just makes the defenders disappear. Near side, choppy steps into the attack. Then steps Richarlison. Forced back, it is Danilo over on the left. Here's Emerson. Emerson, well, he knew he wasn't going to get many chances. That one sails high. Love his nickname, Emerson Royale. His aunt gave it to him as a youngster. You know the little gelatin, the dessert packages?
Yes.
Came in with that big smile on his face, and she said he looked just like the mascot for the gelatin, and the name is stuck.
Royale is the nickname.
Yep.
Oh. That's good. That's better than the nickname my friends gave me when I was growing up.
I don't want to think about it.
Yeah, I'll just stick with Royale. I'm going to call myself Royale instead of
Jorginho Royale.
Yeah. I like that nickname, though, for Emerson. Royale. Royale with cheese. Okay.
A little cheesy.
Yeah.
Inside. A lot of bodies clattering in, trying to win it back. But before Kim can get there, it's launched to midfield. Final 90 seconds ticking away. Trickles in for Jung. Cross for Kwang. Drives it. But deflected wide. The Whitecap midfielder hasn't had much time on the field, but making an impact on both ends. A lot of pressure starting to build on Paulo Bento as well. Starting to.
Yeah. I mean, there are high expectations for Korea Republic. They're a team that they want to win the Asian Cups. They want to qualify for the World Cup and do it with ease. And with the talent and the organization that they have, they should be able to do those things pretty consistently, pretty well. So there's high expectations for Korea Republic.
You think back to that World Cup that kind of launched Landon Donovan to the world in 2002.
Yeah.
That's also when the Koreans burst in, finished fourth, and actually were awarded as one of the most entertaining teams. In a World Cup won by Brazil, it was the Koreans who got a lot of the spotlight.
Yeah, that was a fabulous team, and they also did a magnificent job of hosting the tournament alongside Japan. So that certainly sent the Korea football program in the right direction.
Although recent World Cups, they have found it a little more difficult to climb those peaks again. Wide for Na. Sneaking it through Kim. Flipped back. And the funny thing is if Wang had let it run, but that's the final touch, and Brazil comfortably on a 3-0 scoreline.
An important win for Brazil to get their first win in friendlies post Copa America. But Chichi will have some things to work on defense.
Abu Dhabi, Brazil and South Korea, a couple of changes in store for the 5-time world. For Korea on a good run of form as they look to head in towards Asian action. We'll take a look at these two teams. It's only about 15